Welcome to Modern Vibes with Dr. Jerry the First, episode 272. It's Wednesday, the 13th day of June, 2018. My names are Dr. Jerry the First Oguzie, and today I'm speaking on the topic that says, this toxic behavior drains your mental and emotional energy. When life has to be lived in a certain way in order to be good enough for you, you instantly close yourself off from all the real and present opportunities available. You spend all your mental energy resisting life rather than making the best of it. And sadly, this is how the vast majority of the human population lives, stuck in the perpetual cycle of resistance. But you don't have to continue this cycle. You can change your mind. When you consciously choose to let go of the way it should be, you free your mind to deal with life's unexpected changes, challenges, and chaos in the most effective way possible. You create space for acceptance, learning, and growth. You learn from your mistakes and the mistakes of others. And gradually, you allow yourself to step forward with a clear and focused mind. Closing the door, completing the chapter, turning the page. It doesn't matter what you title it. What matters is that you find the strength to live in the past, those parts of your life that were not meant to be, so you can be better, attend to the present. What has happened is uncontrollable. What you do now changes everything. Letting go is not easy. It's a journey that is traveled one day at a time. Until she closed the past of her life and opened a new vista for a better future, Marylyn, not real name though, did not move forward. She had been a victim of child abuse in the hand of her stepfather. He not only abused her by words of mouth, calling her unprintable names even in the presence of her mother, but he tried raping her once. Her mother was so besotted with her husband that she broached no bad words against him, and she never came to her daughter's rescue those times that the man would give a piece of his tongue to the young girl. Marylyn felt abandoned by her mother. She was 11 years old when her biological father died from a job-related accident. She did not know the details. All she remembered was that her daddy loved her to excess. He never allowed anyone to say any unkind words to her. He showered her with gifts, took her on outings, and made her feel wanted in a world that tends to push away those who are less fortunate. Her mother mourned her father for a while, but after 2 years, she got hooked up with her present husband and decided to marry him. And from the time the man moved into their house, things were not the same again. He started to maltreat her, openly rebuking her even for things that were not serious, never allowing her to go out to play, calling her names, and all that. And so for 5 years, she endured all that. When she turned 18, the man's attitude towards her changed. She noticed that he started being nice to her, buying her gifts, trying to endear himself to her. She had heard of stepdad's sexual abuse, and she suspected that the man was showing sexual interest in her. She swore to herself that the day the man made any moves on her would be the day that his marriage to her mother would end. And so she decided to arm herself just in case the man tried to rape her. Every night, she would take the kitchen knife into her room and hide it under her pillow. She vowed to use it on the man if he ever as much as came close to her. Her suspicions came true some months into her 18th birthday. On that eventful night, she had retired to bed a little bit late because she was up doing her assignment. She was in college then. Somewhere in the wee hours of the morning, around 3 a.m. or so, she heard her door open and though not fully conscious, but she could perceive the presence of someone else in the room. She immediately woke up with a start and went for a table light and flicked it on, only to see her stepfather right there in her room in his boxers and bare-chested. As the table light came on, the man rushed towards her on the bed and seized her, telling her to relax because he came in peace. Her fear was quite palpable and unimaginable, and she started shouting and calling to her mother. But the man advised her to stop making noise because her mother was very deeply asleep and they have no neighbors to come to her aid. He plainly told her that he wants to have sex with her, that she either plays cool and play along or have it with him, or he would force his way through. The girl swore before him that it would be over her dead body that he would have sex with her. This infuriated him, and he told her that she gave him no other choice but to force his way through. He immediately held onto the girl's nightgown and tore it into two, revealing her braless breasts and her pants. This seems to have intoxicated him the more that he did not even notice when the girl put her right hand under her pillow and took out the kitchen knife. He was making his way to her pant. In fact, he had actually also torn the pant and yanked it out. It was then that she raised the knife with all the force and energy she could muster and stabbed him on the right side of his neck, where the big vein is located. And immediately there was a gush of blood. And the last word she heard from the man was, "This girl has killed me." And he fell onto the bed. She extricated herself from under him and made a dash for the door. He was still bleeding and his blood soaked the bed. She ran into her mother's room and tried waking her up, but she was so deeply asleep that she could not be woken up. She wondered why she was that asleep, and then reasoned that maybe the man had drugged her so as to have his way with her daughter. She came back to her room and found the man still on the bed, with blood still pouring out of the stab wound. He was not moving, and she dared not get close to him, so she tiptoed to her closet. She tiptoed to her closet. She tiptoed to her closet, picked a few of her clothes, put them in her backpack with her laptop, took her money. She had made some in-house savings, went back to her mother's room to search for money, found quite an amount in the man's wallet, and took them all. Then she left the house and started running. She had been on the run ever since then. She changed her name and her looks, changed states a number of times, could not fall in love with any man because of the ghosts of the past. In fact, she was incapable of having any meaningful relationships. At 30, with 2 college degrees and a master's, with a job that was paying her in the 6-figure income bracket, she reasoned with herself that her life is worth nothing if she's unable to live it to the hilt, get married, have her own kids, so she decided to seek psychological help. Incidentally, she met an old psychiatrist who took her in as a father. She confessed everything to him, and he told her to drop the past where it belonged and charge up her life for the present that is her reality, and the future that she can build from the present. It can be excruciatingly difficult to leave a long-term life situation or dream behind, even when your inner wisdom tells you that things aren't right and that it's time to let go. At this point, you can choose to let go and enjoy the sudden pain of leaving behind the familiar to make way for a new chapter in your life. Or you can stay and suffer a constant aching pain that gradually eats away at your heart and mind like a cancer, until you wake up one day and find yourself buried so deep in the dysfunction of the situation that you barely remember who you are and what you desire. Choose wisely. Things will happen that are unexpected, undesirable, and uncontrollable. We can always choose to let go and take the next tiniest step forward. Marylyn had to leave the crime she committed in self-defense in the past to the past, so that she could live in the present for a worthy future. She could only build from the present. And you can do likewise. Is your story akin to that of Marylyn, Or are there things you have passed through in the past? You have suffered losses, you have suffered blackmail, you have suffered lack and deprivation, and you're still carrying them up to the present? You're still living in the past even while in the present? The time is now to drop them and move forward. Until I come your way again, this is Morning Vibes with Dr. Jerry the First. This program is powered by Top Media and Communication Nigeria. All rights reserved. Thank you for listening to this broadcast today. It would please us to no end if you continue to visit our podcast. And so to be able to do that, kindly click on the red subscribe button towards your right to subscribe to our channel. In the same vein, also click on the bell beside the subscribe button so that you can always receive the notification for any new podcast we upload. Also give us a thumb up to like this podcast. These help us to grow. And do help us share the podcast to your friends in the different social media sites you belong to. Click on the share tab just below the podcast and share directly from there. The full text of this podcast is on our blog, and would you want to read it, kindly visit the blog. We have a Facebook page where we also post our podcast on a daily basis. If you're on Facebook, kindly like our Facebook page. The links to our blog and our Facebook page are in the description box right below. Thank you for your attention. Do have a very nice day.